2004 was an interesting year for sitcoms. The Friends era was at an end, Everybody Loves Raymond was winding down, and every network was scrambling to find the next big hit. But instead of instant classics, we got a lot of almost, maybes, and what were they thinking? From failed Friends spin-offs to laugh tracks that just wouldn't quit. These are the sitcoms that came and went before most people even realized they existed. So grab a snack and get ready. We're diving into the failed sitcoms of 2004. Number 10, Complete Savages. Premiering September 24th, 2004 on ABC as part of the TGIF revival. Complete Savages tried to bring back that old family sitcom magic, but instead gave us chaos. The show followed Nick Savage, a single father and firefighter trying to wrangle his 5 unruly sons after their mom ditched the family a decade earlier. His brother Jimmy tags along for the ride, but honestly, the boy's antics did most of the heavy lifting, usually in the form of destroying something.
I'm Heather. I need a purple push-up. Pronto, pronto.
On paper, it looked like it could have worked. The series was even executive produced by Mel Gibson, inspired by his own real-life experience raising 6 sons. It was created by Mike and Julie Scully, the same team behind another infamous flop, The Pits. And much like that show, Complete Savages suffered from one fatal flaw. It just wasn't funny. A laugh track blasted over every gag, even when there wasn't a real joke. And it got old fast.
The Cracker Shack.
I love that store, and now you get an employee discount.
After 19 episodes, ABC finally pulled the plug, swapping it out for reruns of 8 Simple Rules. Which says a lot. When reruns are a better option than your new show, you know it's over. Number 9, Listen Up.
I got nothing. The inner life of Tony Kleinman is a bottomless, empty void.
Premiering September 20th, 2004 on CBS. Listen Up was Jason Alexander's second big swing at sitcom stardom after Seinfeld. Unfortunately, much like his first attempt, Bob Patterson in 2001, it didn't exactly stick the landing. Alexander played Tony Kleinman, a Philadelphia-based sports show host, with Malcolm Jamal Warner as his co-host Bernie. The concept tried to balance Tony's on-air sports banter with his off-air family drama. Think Home Improvement, but without the laughs. The show wasn't a total disaster. It ran a full season of 22 episodes, and its ratings were at least consistent. Consistently mediocre, sure, but still strong enough to beat out Trading Spouses on Fox. Not exactly bragging rights, but hey, a win is a win. When CBS pulled the plug after one season, the official excuse was rising production costs. But let's be honest, if the ratings were strong, CBS would have happily kept paying. Instead, Listen Up was quietly forgotten, and Jason Alexander's search for a true post-Seinfeld hit continued.
Hey, let's get the bruiser off the field. What are you telling me that's a girl? I want a chromosome test.
That's my daughter.
Hell of a player.
Number 8, Method in Red.
What's that show you came to see? That's right, M-E-T-H-R-E-D. What's that show you came to watch? M-E-T-H-R-E-D. On the Method Red Show. The Method Red Show.
Premiering June 16th, 2004 on Fox, Method in Red starred Wu-Tang Clan's Method Man and Redman as exaggerated versions of themselves, suddenly living in a wealthy, mostly white New Jersey suburb.
What's up?
The idea had potential, a fish-out-of-water comedy with hip-hop stars clashing against uptight suburbia.
What are you doing? I like this song. No, honey, no, it's not a song. It's an X-rated nursery rhyme that objectifies women. Objectifies? Is that like pimpin'? Bill?
But the show was doomed almost immediately. Fox wanted a goofy laugh track sitcom. Method Man and Redman wanted something more authentic to their personalities and culture. Instead of finding a balance, the studio just slapped in a canned laugh track anyway, and the result felt painfully cheesy.
Baby, were you smoking in the house?
No, mama.
Ah, that's what you get for trying to point the finger at my baby.
Behind the scenes, things only got messier. The stars openly complained that Fox butchered their vision, eventually disowning the show altogether. After just 9 of its 13 episodes aired, Method in Red was pulled from the schedule. What could have been a fresh, edgy comedy ended up as just another failed experiment in network hip-hop. Number 7, Cracking Up. Premiering March 9th, 2004 on Fox, Cracking Up followed a psychology student who moves in with a wealthy Beverly Hills family to help a troubled 9-year-old boy. But there's a twist. The kid's perfectly fine. It's his eccentric family that desperately needs the therapy.
Look, I know you think I'm a whack job, but I'm not the whack job around here. You'll see. There's a lot of stuff you don't know.
The show had a strong pedigree. It was created by Mike White, the same guy who went on to make School of Rock and the award-winning White Lotus. The cast was stacked too, featuring Molly Shannon, Jason Schwartzman, and Christopher McDonald. On paper, it looked like a winner, but the laughs never really landed. After its premiere, Fox shuffled it to Mondays, where it got demolished in the ratings, losing to still-standing reruns. Not exactly a good look. Only 6 of its 12 produced episodes ever aired before Fox pulled the plug. For all its talent, Cracking Up turned out to be the kind of show that just fell apart.
I'm gonna show you something. You see that scar? You know how I got this? I beefed it on my motorcycle. I beefed it. You know why? Because I was wasted off my ass. Does that sound cool? Does that sound, yeah, I want to do that. Ah! That's not cool!
Number 6, Center of the Universe.
Oh, yeah.
Premiering October 27th, 2004 on CBS. Center of the Universe followed John Barnett, played by John Goodman, a security company owner constantly pulled in a million directions by his chaotic family, leaving little time for his patient wife and son. On the surface, the show had everything going for it. The cast was stacked with recognizable names: Gene Smart, Ed Asner, Diedrich Bader, Spencer Breslin, and even Home Improvement's Zachary Ty Bryan for a few episodes. That's a lot of sitcom firepower.
You lied to your wife?
So did Bill Clinton, and you marched in the snow for him.
But CBS didn't do the series any favors. Its premiere was delayed, the schedule was shuffled around, and airings were inconsistent.
We insert a catheter into the femoral artery through the groin.
Whoa.
Only 10 of the 15 produced episodes ever made it to air before CBS pulled the plug. Despite its title, Center of the Universe was anything but the center of viewers' attention. Number 5, Second Time Around.
I'm an artist. You know, sometimes I paint nude, sometimes I pose nude. Are you telling me that you kept your clothes on the entire time we were divorced?
Premiering September 20th, 2004 on UPN. Second Time Around was a romantic sitcom about newlyweds Jackson and Ryan Muse. The catch, they had actually been married before, divorced, and then decided to give it another shot.
You divorced me?
No, you divorced me.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
The series leaned heavily on the can love work a second time angle, mixing standard relationship humor with the complications of high-maintenance friends. The show starred Boris Kodjoe and Nicole Ari Parker, who, fun fact, were actually married in real life. Their natural chemistry gave the series some charm, but unfortunately, charm wasn't enough. UPN had hoped the show would help solidify its lineup of black-led sitcoms, but it never found its audience. Ratings struggled right out of the gate, and despite producing 13 episodes, only 8 ever aired before it was quietly canceled. Ironically, the title ended up being a bad omen. Viewers weren't interested in giving Second Time Around even a first chance. Number 4, Quintuplets.
Got a crowded house, but I've got mine.
Premiering June 16th, 2004 on Fox. Quintuplets was a family sitcom about the chaos of raising teenage quintuplets, 3 boys and 2 girls, along with their overworked parents. The show starred Andy Richter as the father, Bob Chase, and Rebecca Kreskoff as his wife, Carol.
I got 8 minutes before the wash is done.
8 minutes? That gives us time to do some fancy stuff.
Richter was just coming off his own short-lived sitcom, Andy Richter Controls the Universe, so Fox was clearly hoping this time would be the charm. Unfortunately, it wasn't. The show leaned hard into the family of 5 gimmick, but never really found its footing beyond that. And the Quints all looked like different ages. Each episode felt like a recycled mix of teenage stereotypes and sitcom dad jokes that never quite landed.
Thanks, Mom. My life is completely over.
Welcome to the club.
Critics called it predictable and audiences agreed. Ratings slipped week after week. Still, Fox let the full 22-episode season air before quietly pulling the plug in early 2005. Despite its catchy premise, Quintuplets proved that quantity doesn't always equal quality. Number 3, Like Family. Premiering September 19, 2003 on the WB and running into 2004. Like Family followed 2 families, one black, one white, living under the same roof after financial troubles bring them together. The show starred Holly Robinson Peete, Kevin Michael Richardson, and Diane Farr as part of the blended household. On paper, it had that wholesome TGIF-style family sitcom vibe.
My mom ran into my dad this morning. He wants to see me.
Is it Will Ferrell like you thought? No.
The chemistry between the cast was actually pretty solid, and the show had its heart in the right place. But the WB didn't quite know what to do with it. The network kept shuffling it around their lineup, and it never had a chance to build a steady audience. Only 22 episodes were produced before the WB quietly canceled it in the spring of 2004. It wasn't a bad show by any means, just one that got lost in a crowded field of louder, flashier sitcoms. In a way, Like Family lived up to its title. It was warm, familiar, and easily overlooked. Number 2, Rodney. Premiering September 21, 2004 on ABC. Rodney starred stand-up comedian Rodney Carrington as, well, Rodney Hamilton, a blue-collar family man chasing his dream of becoming a comedian while trying to keep his marriage and kids from falling apart.
What's your job?
Well, Daddy's a comedian. See, I get on stage and I tell jokes and I make people laugh.
The show was loosely based on Carrington's real life and comedy routines, kind of like Home Improvement meets The King of Queens, but with more country flair. It also starred Jennifer Aspin as his wife Trina, and Nick Searcy, who later went on to Justified as his best friend. The series had a down-to-earth charm and a solid fan base in Middle America, but it struggled to stand out among ABC's bigger sitcoms of the time. Despite mixed reviews, Rodney actually lasted 2 seasons, but the second season barely made its air, with ABC burning off all the episodes during the summer of 2006. It wasn't a total disaster, but Rodney never quite hit the mark it was aiming for. You could say it was a sitcom that was funny enough for a chuckle, but not quite enough to keep the lights on.
You don't think it's possible that I could make a living as a comedian?
Well, you're not.
But I could be.
But you're not.
Let's forget about whether or not I'm successful right now.
Which you're not.
I know.
Number 1, Joey. Premiering September 9, 2004 on NBC. Joey was supposed to be the next big thing. A continuation of Friends starring Matt LeBlanc as everyone's favorite lovable doofus Joey Tribbiani.
Oh, you're married?
You didn't know? Didn't you see the ring?
Yeah, I saw a ring, but it's not on your left hand, so.
Yeah, it is.
After Friends ended its legendary run earlier that year, NBC was desperate to keep the momentum going. The idea was simple. Move Joey to Los Angeles to chase his acting career, surround him with a new cast, and hope audiences followed him. But, well, they didn't.
I was happy in New York, okay? And I tried really hard to keep things from changing, but everyone else got married and had kids and moved on. They all changed.
The show wasn't terrible, but it lacked the chemistry that made Friends work. Gone were Chandler, Ross, and Monica, and in their place were bland new characters who couldn't fill the void. Even Matt LeBlanc, who had great comedic timing, seemed lost without the ensemble that made Joey shine. Critics were harsh, calling it a sitcom without a soul, and ratings plummeted by season 2. NBC tried retooling the show mid-run, but it was too late. After 46 episodes, Joey was quietly canceled. It's a reminder that lightning doesn't always strike twice, and sometimes even the most beloved characters just don't work outside their original sitcom family.
I can't believe this. How could I go from having 2 shows to having nothing?
And that wraps up our look back at the sitcoms that didn't quite survive 2004. Some had potential, others never stood a chance, and a few, like Joey, just prove that even the biggest shows can stumble when the magic's gone. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, please like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments which of these you actually remember watching, or maybe trying to forget.